Hello, my friends. My name is Farzin, certified hypnotherapist and head of Solistic Hypnosis, an alternative and holistic mental health service. Welcome to our Solistic Hypnosis on my channel. Let me share with you now, what is hypnosis? So we have already gone over what hypnosis is in our previous mind video. A link should be provided on the video or in the description box, so watch that video first. In essence, hypnosis is more than a technique, but the natural mental process of learning that allows the mind to change into anything. In every learning experience, there is a hypnosis process in which your unconscious mind receives information from a source you're receptive to. Then your unconscious begins to catalog and write that information into your subconscious as knowledge. From here, you're subtly influenced to think, feel, and act in accordance to what you now know. Thus, you learn something from that source, which changes your character and thus changes your life. So, from here, let's deepen our understanding on hypnosis by seeing how you are naturally hypnotizing others and how others are naturally hypnotizing you. You may have heard people speak of hypnosis as a special technique to control the minds of others, especially without the other person knowing. But like I have said before, hypnosis is more than a technique. After all, if hypnosis is the natural mental process of learning, then we all already have been naturally hypnotizing other people and been hypnotized by others as well. We can look at a hypnotherapy session, seeing a hypnotherapist being the giver or the projector to the client, and the client being the receiver or the receptor. The hypnotherapist communicates or projects to the client linguistic information that the client hypnotically receives via the unconscious mind. Then that information digests and turns into knowledge. To now know means you now have learned. And what you learn, you become. Now, think of any conversation you have had with people in your past. If that person you talk to is listening, they will mentally receive that information from you. That receival is the same hypnosis process that happens between hypnotherapists and their clients. Notice how everyone who hypnotically receives information will be influenced to act in accordance to that information. Originally, hypnosis is used to put people under a trance or a passive state of mind so that they better receive information. But even in a conscious or active state of mind, we receive information. Maybe not as well as being in a trance state, but if you are listening keenly, you can still receive and digest information well. You, I, and all forms of life are hypnotists and the ones being hypnotized. In knowing this, learn to choose your words carefully and to listen keenly to what language is said by others. With the right words and awareness of what people want, you can hypnotize anyone. Now, here's a quote that's very common in the hypnosis world, which says, "All hypnosis is self-hypnosis." Quoted by famous American hypnotist Dave Ellman. Here I am telling you about how we all hypnotize each other, as well as how a hypnotherapist can hypnotize their client. Since when is all hypnosis self-hypnosis? All hypnosis is self-hypnosis because, in the end, the person being hypnotized gives the consent for the gates of their mind to be open for receival. I'm sure you can agree that no one can make you do something against your will, so why wouldn't this also be true for the suggestions or directions someone gives during hypnosis? Now, it may look like the hypnotist is controlling the minds of others, but again, unless the person consents, they can't be hypnotized. This is why, to hypnotize anybody, the other person must be receptive to your word. As the hypnotist, all you can do is impress and influence on others. The other person can still refuse this hypnotic influence. So, if you want to hypnotize yourself, just know how the information you are receptive to will influence your mind to think, feel, and act in accordance to that information. Surround yourself with positive language in the form of symbolic imagery and good people. Most importantly, affirm your own positive language in your day-to-day living. By our nature, we are in charge of our minds, thus in charge of our own lives. We must take responsibility for our kingdom and rule ourselves in goodness and individualism. Hypnosis is learning, learning is hypnosis, and all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And in taking charge of our lives, we can take on hypnotherapy to reprogram the mind for the success you want and need. To learn more about how our Solistic Hypnosis Hypnotherapy services can become your next success, contact Solistic Hypnosis via our email, which is info@solistichehypnosis.com, or call 1-833-SOLISTIC or 1-833-765-4784. Anything you want to become, we can help you achieve it with hypnotherapy. With that said, I look forward to hearing from you all, and stay tuned for more Solistic Hypnosis content. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.